Thanks for joining us at 6 tonight. I'm Kelly Swoop. No consequences, no change behavior. A Baltimore nonprofit is exposing how drivers with out-of-state license plates are getting away with speeding on our roads and not paying the citations. WMAR2 News' Elizabeth Worthington joins us now to break down why this is happening so frequently. Elizabeth?
Yeah, Kelly, so we've probably all been there. You get a speeding ticket in the mail, you pay it, you chalk it up to a minor hassle, and hopefully you learn your lesson. But what if we told you there are some drivers out there who are continuously getting tickets in the same spot, not paying a cent, and feeling no consequences for it? The speed limit sign says photo enforced, but these cameras can only do so much. They can easily catch speeding drivers, but making them pay up is another story.
I think it was most surprising to me is just the amount of unpaid violations that we have and the lack of recovery the city really has, like the ability for the city to recover those fines.
Jed Weeks, executive director for the local advocacy organization Bikemore, analyzed publicly available data from Baltimore's automated enforcement system. His team found that in 2024, just 10 of the city's, quote, super speeders were responsible for about 1,100 speeding tickets and more than $80,000 in unpaid tickets. The top 5 and 6 of the 10 have Virginia tags. Most of the super speeders have been caught at the same location dozens of times. One driver racking up 75 tickets, that's about $3,000, at just one camera along the Jones Falls Expressway.
You just have this small subset of folks that just don't care. They've broken the social contract. They're willing to just be completely reckless. And those are the folks we really need to target for enforcement.
We took a look at the data ourselves and found that about 86% of speeding tickets for Virginia tagged vehicles went unpaid in 2024. Virginia allows people to register their cars there even if they don't live in the state. A big incentive for Marylanders to do that used to be because Virginia didn't require drivers to get insurance. The state changed that law last summer. Still, incentives remain for those who want to bypass emissions inspections or avoid paying traffic citations.
We do not have reciprocity with Virginia, and so, a Maryland tag, if you go to, get your tag renewed or your registration renewed, if you've not paid those fines, you're going to need to pay those fines before you can register your car again. But in Virginia, they can just keep re-registering their car without paying those fines.
The Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration says the out-of-state plate problem is costing the state millions in lost revenue. And Jed Weeks is concerned the lack of accountability for speeding drivers could also cost lives. The cameras are only triggered when someone is driving 12 miles an hour above the speed limit. In a school zone, that means the driver is traveling about 40 miles an hour or more.
The cameras are basically triggering at where it becomes fatal for a pedestrian in a crash. And so, we set a pretty high threshold, and the threshold is death.
So state delegates in the House did try to pass legislation this year to increase penalties and enforcement for drivers with those out-of-state plates, like towing a non-compliant vehicle, but that legislation never made it out of committee.
This is awful.
Yeah.
So D.C. has this problem too. What are they doing to crack down?
Yeah, so the D.C. City Council actually authorized the Office of the Attorney General to basically go after these out-of-state drivers for not paying their tickets in civil court. So back in February, they announced their first round of lawsuits against 3 Maryland drivers. So Maryland residents are having problems with this too, but they owed the district thousands of dollars in unpaid tickets, and now they're suing them. They announced another round yesterday against 5 Virginia drivers and 1 Maryland driver who had 300 unpaid speeding tickets. He owes D.C. close to $200,000, and now they're taking him to court.
Wow, I can't imagine that. Wow. All right. At least they're trying to crack down.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Elizabeth, for that report.